Salutations, crustaceans. I'm Lobster, and today we are going to be reviewing the Squier Classic Vibe 70s jazz bass. Let's check it out. This is the Squier Classic Vibe 70s jazz bass, part of the Squier Classic Vibe line. The old Squier Vintage Modified series was a player's choice for quite a long time in regards to being a good workhorse as well as a great mod platform. However, with the change to the Squier Classic Vibe series, quality has suffered quite a bit. Oh, hi kitty. Quality has suffered a bit compared to the days of the Vintage Modified. I've criticized the quality control of the Classic Vibe series before in other reviews, and we will see today if this one is any different. Let's go over the specs of our Classic Vibe 70s jazz bass now. We have a poplar body finished in a three-tone sunburst here. I think this is a gorgeous finish overall, and it pairs nicely with the black pickguard. This is a 3-ply pickguard, a vintage style good-looking one, and we have our two Fender-designed single-coil El Nico pickups. Because this is a 70s jazz bass, we have our bridge pickup in the 70s position, which is a bit closer to the bridge compared to a 60s style jazz bass. This is also a typical jazz bass in terms of electronics with a passive control setup. We have a volume tone configuration on this control plate. The bridge is a standard bent steel Fender style bridge. Nothing special here, but it works and fits the vibe of this instrument for sure. Moving up to the neck, we have a maple on maple 20 fret 34-inch scale neck with a black binding and black inlays here, black block inlays. We have a 9.5-inch radius as well as a 38mm nut width and a typical jazz bass profile. The entirety of this neck is finished in a thick gloss finish as well as a vintage tint. So there is a tint all over the neck and the gloss is all over as well. I don't really mind the gloss finish that much, but for those who aren't really a fan of the gloss, look elsewhere or be prepared to whip out the sandpaper or the steel wool to get this gloss matted out a bit. And then moving up to the headstock, we can see the Squier logo as well as the vintage jazz bass logo and the 4 open gear Squier tuners. We also have a Fender style string tree typical of most jazz basses. Now let's go ahead and turn this bass around. Around back, there's really not much to see here other than the continuation of the 3-tone sunburst, which is something that you don't see in other budget jazz basses at this price point. You usually see only a solid color on the back for the burst finishes, so I guess a nice premium touch. We can also see the neck heel here. There is no angle to the neck heel, it's just a regular straight neck heel. 4 screws and a neck plate that is branded Squier. We can also see the back of this glossed out maple neck, and we see a skunk stripe running up the middle. And then moving up to the headstock, we can see our open gear tuners, as well as a little Fender logo and some text saying that this is made in Indonesia. And how much does our Squier Vintage Modified 70s jazz bass weigh? This particular example comes in at 9 pounds on the dot, which is quite well weighted for a 70s jazz bass style instrument. The actual 70s jazz basses are often known for being boat anchors, so this one being 9 pounds is definitely pretty good overall. But as we all know, weight does not matter if the bass does not balance well. So let's see how our Squier Classic Vibe 70s jazz bass balances. In the lap without a strap, we do get a little bit of neck dive, but overall it's manageable and I don't find myself fighting the neck or I don't think this is going to cause any fatigue. On the lap with the strap, I feel it tugging on the strap a little bit, but I don't find it to be very neck divey. And then standing up, this is well balanced. I can position the bass at any point and have it sit there and not have to worry about neck dive. And how much does our Squier Classic Vibe 70s jazz bass cost? These come in brand new from Fender at $429, with the 5-string coming in at $479. The Sire V5, which directly competes with this bass, is about $100 more, but it does have quite a few more premium accoutrements. If you want to see my review on that bass, go ahead and check out that video linked in the description below. But now, I know you're all wondering, what's this bass sound like? You all know what you need to do. Go ahead and push that like button so my hand will turn back to normal. Thanks. Okay, so just like the other classic vibes that I've experienced, the neck does not really like to stay put. And even though I set this up like a week and a half ago and it's been sitting in my basement in the same conditions and everything, the humidity hasn't shifted and the temperature has remained constant, the neck is still shifted, so I just had to set it up again. Take two! Here is the Squier Classic Vibe 70s jazz bass. So there it is, our classic vibe 70s jazz. Playability wise, I'm not really impressed, especially when I can get a Squier V5 for a little bit more money. The neck, though it's finished nicely, I don't find myself sticking to the gloss. I'm not really enjoying the playing experience that much, and it's kind of difficult to dial in overall. The truss rod is not the best in this, and the pickups don't really have that jazz bass bite that other jazz basses have and something you'd expect. But let's play it one more time and then we'll check out these pickups individually. Let's go over to our neck pickup here, which is a single coil jazz pickup. In a noisy electrical environment like what we have here, you will get some single coil hum. That is the nature of the beast. That being said, it is on the louder side compared to some other jazz basses, so take that for what you will. Here is the neck pickup with the tone all the way open. Next, here's the tone at 50%. And here's the tone all the way down. Yeah, it's a bass. Let's take the tone back up and solo our bridge pickup now. Can we get that 70s bridge pickup jazz bass tone that we all know and love? Let's see. Yeah, you know what? It can get that jazz bass bridge pickup tone. But with the neck pickup as well as with both pickups together, I don't think it really sounds like a 70s jazz bass. Let's take the tone down to about 50% now with our bridge pickup soloed. And here is the tone all the way down. And let's go ahead and take the tone back up and have both pickups together. I was kind of enjoying myself there with the bridge pickup. Yeah, so the tone there, meh. Here's the tone at 50%. Here's the tone all the way down. Let's take the tone back up, solo our neck pickup once more, and grab our pick. Not bad, again, not great. Somewhere in the middle. Here's the bridge pickup now. And here's both pickups together. put the pick away. Oops. And I give this bass a slap, starting with the neck pickup. Here's the bridge pickup. And here's both pickups together. Ugh. It's like the neck is almost shifting as I'm playing. It's like the action is not great, and the playing experience is not great. Oh man. Let's go ahead and throw some drums behind this bass, so then I can stop playing it forever. So here are my final thoughts on the Squier Classic Vibe 70s jazz bass. In my opinion, I think this bass is all about the looks and not about the substance. And you can really tell that that's lacking here. The neck, just like the other classic vibes that I've experienced in the past, have just kind of shifted all over the place over time, and they don't like to stay put. I find that the instability leads to just a bad ownership experience overall, where most of my other instruments stay put in my stagnant environment here of 50% humidity and like 70 degrees. The playing experience isn't good. The pickup sound isn't great. The aesthetics are great. I mean, this is a good looking bass with the sunburst, with the block inlays. This is like a budget, Geddy Lee signature, and I am a big Geddy Lee fan, so seeing an instrument like this and having it be under $500, I'd be ecstatic, because I don't want to drop $1,200 on a Mexican Geddy Lee, because we all know how those go. And the American ones, though I hear they're very high quality, are also very expensive. But does this deliver, the jazz bass experience, at least even for a beginner player? And the answer to that, in my opinion, is no. This gives you the eye candy experience as well as the ownership experience of a vintage 70s jazz bass. Perhaps one with a neck that doesn't like to stay put. You get all of that here. However, in terms of just, quality of ownership, I'd probably look elsewhere for a long-term instrument, as this is not really tickling my fancy for the 70s jazz bass. So what am I going to rate the Squier Classic Vibe 70s jazz bass? I'm going to rate this bass 2 claws out of 5. The lackluster playability and tone are overshadowed for some people by the good looks here. The vintage tint on this neck, the sunburst with the black pickguard, this is a classic look. That being said, the playing experience just isn't up to par for me. The pickups sound a bit anemic, though when you dig in, you can kind of get a bit of growl out of them. but the neck itself is kind of all over the place, and I don't feel confident in bringing this around without having to give it a quick setup on the go every time I take it out of the case. So would I recommend this bass for a beginner or someone looking to do gigging with like a beater jazz bass? Probably not, unless you want some headaches in regards to setups. I would personally go for something like the Squier V5. I've commended the V5 in the past for being a very well-built instrument and a great mod platform. This is a great example of a bad mod platform because the bones are just not there, with this neck that does not deliver. This is a well-weighted instrument, I'll give it that. At 9 pounds, I've definitely seen heavier jazz basses for sure. I'm looking at that Harley Benton MV4JB Goto that was 11 pounds for a 4-string jazz bass. But just because it's a well-weighted instrument and a good-looking instrument does not mean it is a good performing instrument, and this one is not. Now, I will also be doing a video with this bass and the Squier V5, a tone shootout, so we can see who's going to reign supreme in 70s jazz bass land. But until then, let me know what you think about the Squier Classic Vibe 70s jazz bass down in the comments below. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, join our Discord channel, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the Squier Classic Vibe 70s jazz bass. And as always, until we groove again.